Tehillim 73. Elohim is truly good to Yisrael, to those whose heart is clean. But as for me, my feet had almost stumbled. My steps had nearly slipped, for I was envious of the boasters when I saw the peace of the wrongdoers. For death has no pangs for them, and their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, and they are not plagued like other men. So pride is their necklace, the garment of violence covers them. Their eyes bulge from fatness, their heart overflows with imaginations. They mock and speak in the evil of oppression. They speak loftily. They have set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walks through the earth, saying, Therefore his people return here, and waters of a filled cup are drained by them. And they have said, How could El know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? See, these are the wrong, and always at ease. They have amassed wealth. Indeed, in vain have I cleansed my heart, and washed my hands in innocence. For I am plagued all day long, and my reproof is every morning. If I had said, Let me speak thus, see, I would have deceived a generation of your children. Yet when I tried to understand this, it was labor to my eyes, until I went into the set-apart place of El. Then I perceived this end. Indeed, you set them in slippery places. You make them fall to ruins. How suddenly they are ruined, completely swept away through destructions. Yahuwah, when you awake, you despise their image, as one does a dream after waking. For my heart was in a ferment, and I was pierced in my kidneys. I was stupid and ignorant. I was like a beast toward you, yet I am always with you. You took hold of my right hand. You led me by your counsel, and afterward received me unto esteem. Whom do I have in the heavens? And I have desired no one besides you on earth. My flesh and my heart shall waste away, but Elohim is the rock of my heart, and my portion forever. For look, those who are far from you perish. You shall cut off all those who go whoring away from you. But as for me, it is good to be near Elohim. I have made my refuge in the Master Yahuwah to declare all your works. Tehillim 74. O Elohim, why do you forever reject us? Why does your displeasure smoke against the sheep of your pasture? Remember your congregation. You did purchase of old. The tribe of your inheritance you did redeem. This Mount Zion where you have dwelt, lift up your steps to the endless ruins. The enemy has done all evil in the set-apart place. Your adversaries have roared in the midst of your meeting places. They have set up their own signs as signs. It seems as if one had lifted up axes among the thick trees, and now all its carved work they have broken down with axe and hammer. They have set fire to your set-apart place. They have profaned the dwelling place of your name to the ground. They said in their hearts, Let us suppress them all together. They burned all the meeting places of El in the land. We do not see our signs. There is no longer a prophet, nor any among us who knows how long. O Elohim, how long will the adversary reproach? Will the enemy despise your name forever? Why do you hold back your hand, even your right hand, from the midst of your bosom? End it. For Elohim is my sovereign from of old, working deliverance in the midst of the earth. You divided the sea by your might. You broke the heads of the sea serpents in the waters. You broke the heads of Leviathan in pieces. You made him food for the people living in the wilderness. You did cleave open the fountain and the flood. You did dry up mighty rivers. The day is yours, the night is yours too. You have established the light in the sun. You have set all the borders of the earth. You have made summer and winter. Remember this, the enemy has reproached Yahuwah, and a foolish people has despised your name. Do not give the being of your turtle dove to the wild beast. Do not forget the life of your afflicted ones forever. Look to the covenant, for the dark places of the earth are filled with haunts of violence. Let not the crushed one return ashamed. Let the poor and needy praise your name. Arise, O Elohim, plead your own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproaches you daily. Do not forget the voice of your enemies. The uproar of those rising up against you increases continually. Tehillim 7-5. We shall give thanks to you, O Elohim. We shall give thanks, and your name is near. Your wonders shall be declared. When I seize the appointed time, it is I who judge in uprightness. The earth and all its inhabitants are melted. It is I who set its columns firm, Selah. I said to the boasters, do not boast, and to the wrong, do not lift up the horn. Do not lift up your horn on high. You speak with a stiff neck. For exaltations are neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the wilderness. But Elohim is the judge. He puts down one and exalts another. For a cup is in the hand of Yahuwah, and the wine shall foam. It is filled with a mixture, and he pours it out. All the wrong of the earth drink, draining it to the dregs. But I declare forever. I sing praises to the Elohim of Yaakov, and all the horns of the wrong are cut off. The horns of the righteous are lifted up. Tehillim 7-6. In Yehuda, Elohim is known. His name is great in Yisrael, and his booth is in Shalom, and his dwelling place in Zion. There he broke the arrows of the bow, the shield and the sword and the battle axe. Selah. You are resplendent, more excellent than mountains of prey. The stout-hearted have been stripped. They slept their sleep, and none of the mighty men have found their hands. At your rebuke, O Elohim of Yaakov, both the rider and horse lay stunned. You are to be feared. And who would stand in your presence when you are displeased? From heaven you shall cause judgment to be heard. The earth shall fear and shall be still. When Elohim arises to right ruling, to save all the meek of the earth, Selah. For the wrath of mankind praises you. With the remainder of wrath you gird yourself. Make vows to Yahuwah your Elohim, and pay them. Let all who are around him bring presents to the one to be feared. He cuts off the spirit of leaders. He is awesome to the sovereigns of the earth. Tehillim 7-7. My voice is to Elohim, and I cry. My voice is to Elohim, and he listened to me. In the day of my distress I sought Yahuwah. My hand was stretched out in the night, and it did not cease. My being refused to be comforted. I remembered Elohim and groaned. I complained, and my spirit grew faint. Selah. You ceased the watches of my eyes. I was too troubled to speak. I have thought about the days of old, the years long past. I remember my song in the night. I meditate within my heart, and my spirit searches diligently. Would Yahuwah reject forever and never again be pleased? Has his kindness ceased forever? Has the promise failed for all generations? Has El forgotten to show favor? Has he shut up his compassions in displeasure, Selah? And I said, this is my grief. that the right hand of the Most High has changed. I remember the deeds of Yah, for I remember your wonders of old, and I shall meditate on all your work and talk of your deeds. Your way, O Elohim, is in set apartness. Who is a great El like Elohim? You are the El who does wonders. You have made known your strength among the peoples. By your arm you have redeemed your people, the sons of Yaakov and Joseph, Selah. The waters saw you, O Elohim. The waters saw you. They were afraid. The depths also trembled. The clouds poured out water. The heavens rumbled. Also your arrows flashed back and forth. The voice of your thunder rolled along. Lightnings lit up the world. The earth trembled and shook. Your way was in the sea, and your path in the great waters, and your footsteps were not known. You did lead your people like a flock by the hand of Moshe and Aaron. Tehillim 78. My people, give ear to my Torah. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I open my mouth in a parable. I utter riddles of old, which we have heard and known, for our fathers have related them to us. We do not hide them from their children, relating to the generation to come the praises of Yahuwah, and his strength and his wonders which he has done. For he raised a witness in Yaakov and set a Torah in Israel, which he commanded our fathers to teach them to their children, that it might be known to a generation to come, to children who would be born, to rise up and relate them to their children, and place their trust in Elohim, and not forget the works of El, but watch over his commands and not be like their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation which did not prepare its heart, whose spirit was not steadfast to El. The children of Ephraim, armed bowmen, turned back in the day of battle. They did not guard the covenant of Elohim, and they refused to walk in his Torah, and they forgot his deeds and his wonders which he had shown them. He did wonders in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Mizraim, in the field of Zoan. He split the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters stand up like a heap, and led them with the cloud by day and all the night with a light of fire. He split the rocks in the wilderness and made them drink as from the great depths, and brought forth streams from the rock, and caused waters to come down as rivers. Yet they sinned still more against him, to rebel against the Most High in the desert. And they tried El in their heart by asking food according to their desire. And they spoke against Elohim. They said, is El able to set a table in the wilderness? Look, he struck the rock so that the waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. Is he able to give bread also? Would he provide meat for his people? Therefore Yahuwah heard, and he was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Yaakov, and displeasure also came up against Israel, because they did not believe in Elohim, neither did they trust in his deliverance. Yet he had commanded the clouds above, and opened the doors of the heavens, and he rained down manna on them to eat, and he gave them the grain of the heavens. Men ate bread of the mighty. He sent them provisions to satisfaction. He made an east wind blow in the heavens, and by his power he brought in the south wind. And he rained meat on them like the dust, and winged birds like the sand of the seas. and let them fall in the midst of his camp, all around his dwelling place. So they ate and were completely satisfied, for he brought them what they desired. They had not turned away from their desire. Their food was still in their mouths, when the wrath of Elohim came against them, and he slew among their fat ones, and he struck down the choice ones of Yisrael. In spite of all this, they still sinned and did not believe in his wonders. So he ended their days in a breath, and their years in trouble. When he slew them, then they sought him. And they returned and did earnestly seek El. And they remembered that Elohim was their rock, and the Most High El their Redeemer. But they flattered him with their mouth, and they lied to him with their tongue, for their heart was not steadfast with him. And they were not true to his covenant. But he, the compassionate one, pardoned crookedness, and did not destroy them. And many a time he turned his displeasure away, and did not stir up all his wrath. But he remembered that they were but flesh, a passing breath that does not return. How often they rebelled against him in the wilderness, and grieved him in the desert. And again they tried El, and provoked the set-apart one of Israel. They did not remember his hand, the day when he redeemed them from the adversary, how he worked his signs in Mizraim, and his wonders in the field of Zoan. He turned their rivers into blood, and they could not drink their streams. He sent among them swarms of flies, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them, and gave their crops to the caterpillar, and their labor to the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost, and gave their beasts over to the hail, and their livestock to bolts of fire. He sent on them the burning of his displeasure, wrath and rage and distress, a deportation of messengers of evils. He made a path for his displeasure. He did not spare their being from death, but gave their life over to the plague. And he smote all the firstborn in Mizraim, the firstfruits of strength in the tents of Ham. Then made his own people go forth like sheep, and led them in the wilderness like a flock. And he led them on safely, and they did not fear. But the sea covered their enemies, and he brought them to the border of his set-apart place, this mountain which his right hand had gained, and drove out nations before them, and allotted them a measured inheritance, and made the tribes of Israel dwell in their tents. Yet they tried and rebelled against the Most High Elohim, and did not guard his witnesses, but they turned back, and acted treacherously like their fathers. They twisted like a treacherous bow, for they enraged him with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their carved images. When Elohim heard this, he was wroth, and greatly despised Israel. And he left the dwelling place of Shiloh, the tent which he had set up among men. And he gave his strength into captivity, and his comeliness into the hand of the adversary. And he gave his people over to the sword, and he was wrought with his inheritance. His young men were consumed by fire, and his maidens were not praised. His priests fell by the sword, and their widows could not weep. Then Yahuwah awoke as one asleep, as a mighty man who shouts because of wine. And he smote his adversaries backward. He put them to an everlasting reproach. Then he rejected the tent of Joseph, and did not choose the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Yehudah, Mount Zion, which he loved. And he built a set-apart place like the heights. Like the earth he founded it forever. And he chose David his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds. He brought him in from tending the ewes, to shepherd Yaakov his people, and Israel his inheritance. And he shepherded them according to integrity of his heart, and led them by the skill of his hands. Tehillim 79. O Elohim, the Gentiles have come into your inheritance. They have defiled your set-apart Hekal. They turned Jerusalem into ruins. They have given the dead bodies of your servants as food for the birds of the heavens, the flesh of your kind ones to the wild beasts of the earth. They have poured out their blood like water all around Jerusalem, with no one to bury them. We have become a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a mockery to those who are around us. How long, O Yahuwah, would you be enraged forever? Would your jealousy burn like fire? Pour out your wrath on the Gentiles who have not known you, and on reigns that have not called on your name. For they have devoured Yaakov and laid waste his pasture. Do not remember against us the crookednesses of the fathers. Let your compassion speedily meet us, for we have been greatly weakened. Help us, O Elohim of our deliverance, for the sake of the esteem of your name, and deliver us and cover over our sins for your name's sake. Why should the Gentiles say, where is their Elohim? Let the vengeance of the outpoured blood of your servants be known among the Gentiles before our eyes. Let the groaning of the prisoner come before you. According to the greatness of your arm, preserve those appointed to death, and repay to our neighbors sevenfold their reproach into their bosom, with which they have reproached you, O Yahuwah. And we, your people, and the sheep of your pasture, we give thanks to you forever. From generation to generation we show forth your praise. Tehillim 80. Give ear, O shepherd of Israel, who lead Joseph like a flock, who dwell between the cherubim. Shine forth before Ephraim, Benjamin, and Manasseh. Stir up your might and come and save us. Cause us to turn back, O Elohim, and cause your face to shine, that we might be saved. O Yahuwah Elohim of hosts, how long shall you be wrought against the prayer of your people? You have caused them to eat the bread of tears, and have caused them to drink with tears a third time. You have made us a strife to our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves. Turn us back, O Elohim of hosts, and cause your face to shine, that we might be saved. You brought a vine out of Mizraim. You drove out the nations and planted it. You cleared a palace for it, and caused it to take deep root, and it filled the land. Hills were covered with its shadow, and the mighty cedars with its twigs. She spread her branches to the sea, and her shoots to the river. Why have you broken down her hedges, so that every passer-by plucked her fruit? The boar out of the forest ravages it, and the wild beast of the field devours it. Return, we beg you, O Elohim of hosts. Look down from heaven and see, and visit this vine, and the stock which your right hand has planted, and the son whom you made strong for yourself. It is burned with fire, it is cut down. They perish at the rebuke of your face. Let your hand be upon the one at your right hand, upon the son of Adam, whom you made strong for yourself, and we shall not backslide from you. Revive us, and let us call upon your name. Turn us back, O Yahuwah Elohim of hosts, and cause your face to shine, that we might be saved. Tehillim 81. Shout for joy to Elohim our strength. Raise a shout to the Elohim of Yaakov. Lift up a song and beat the tambourine, the pleasant lyre, and with the harp. Blow the ram's horn at the time of the new moon, at the full moon on our festival day, for this is a law for Israel, and a right ruling of the Elohim of Yaakov. He appointed it in Jehoshaphat for a witness, when he went throughout the land of Mizraim. I heard a language that I did not know. He says, I removed his shoulder from the burden. His hands were freed from the baskets. You called in distress, and I rescued you. I answered you in the covering of thunder. I proved you at the waters of Meribah, Selah. Hear, O my people, and let me warn you, O Israel, if you would listen to me. Let there be no strange mighty one among you, and do not bow down to a foreign mighty one. I am Yahuwah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mizraim. Open your mouth wide, and I fill it. But my people did not listen to my voice, and Israel would not submit to me. So I gave them over to their own stubborn heart, to walk in their own counsels. Oh, if my people had listened to me, Israel would walk in my ways. I would subdue their enemies at once and turn my hand against their adversaries. Those who hate Yahuwah would cringe before him, and their time of punishment be forever. He would feed them with the finest of wheat, and with honey from the rock I would satisfy you. Tehillim 82. Elohim stands in the congregation of El. He judges in the midst of the Elohim. How long would you judge perversely and show partiality to the wrong, Selah? Give right ruling to the poor and fatherless. Do right to the afflicted and needy. Rescue the poor and needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wrong. They do not know, nor do they understand. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are shaken. I said, you are Elohim, and all of you are sons of the Most High. But as men you die, and fall as one of the heads. Arise, O Elohim, judge the earth, for you shall possess all the nations. Tehillim 83. O Elohim, do not remain silent, do not be speechless, and do not be still, O El. For look, your enemies make an uproar, and those hating you have lifted up their head. They craftily plot against your people, and conspire against your treasured ones. They have said, come, and let us wipe them out as a nation, and let the name of Israel be remembered no more. For they have conspired together with one heart. They have made a covenant against you, the tents of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, Moab, and the Hagarites, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, Philistia, with the inhabitants of Zar. Asher also has joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot, Selah. Do to them as to Midian, as to Sisera, as to Yaben, at the Wadi Quazan, who perished at Endor, who became as dung for the ground. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeab, and all their princes like Zebah and Zamunah, who have said, let us take possession of the pastures of Elohim for ourselves. O my Elohim. Make them as whirling dust, as stubble before the wind, as a fire consumes a forest, and as a flame sets mountains on fire. So pursue them with your whirlwind, and frighten them with your storm. Fill their faces with shame, and let them seek your name, O Yahuwah. Let them be ashamed and alarmed forever, and let them become abashed and perish. And let them know that you, whose name is Yahuwah, you alone are the most high over all the earth. Tehillim 84. How lovely are your dwelling places, O Yahuwah of hosts! My being has longed and even fainted for the courts of Yahuwah. My heart and my flesh cry out for the living El. Even the sparrow has found a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she has put her young ones. Your altars, O Yahuwah of hosts, my sovereign and my Elohim. Blessed are those who dwell in your house. They are ever praising you, Salah. Blessed is the man whose strength is in you. Your highways are in their heart. Passing through the valley of weeping, they make it a fountain. The teacher also covers it with blessings. They go from strength to strength, appearing before Elohim in Zion. O Yahuwah Elohim of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O Elohim of Yaakov, Selah. O Elohim, see our shield, and look upon the face of your anointed. For a day in your courts is better than 1,000 days. I have chosen rather to be a doorkeeper in the house of my Elohim than to dwell in the tents of the wrong. For Yahuwah Elohim is a sun and a shield. Yahuwah gives favor and esteem. He withholds no good matter from those who walk blamelessly. O Yahuwah of hosts, blessed is the man who trusts in you. Father. Tehillim 85. Yahuwah, you shall take pleasure in your land. You shall turn back the captivity of Yaakov. You shall take away the crookedness of your people. You shall cover all their sin, Selah. You shall withdraw all your wrath. You shall turn from your fierce displeasure. Turn back to us, O Elohim of our deliverance, and cause your vexation toward us to cease. Would you be enraged with us forever? Would you draw out your displeasure from generation to generation? Would you not revive us again for your people to rejoice in you? Show us your kindness, O Yahuwah, and give us your deliverance. Let me hear what El Yahuwah speaks, for he speaks peace to his people and to his kind ones, and let them not turn again to folly. Truly, his deliverance is near to those who fear him. For esteem to dwell in our land. Kindness and truth shall meet. Righteousness and peace shall kiss. Truth sprouts forth from the earth, and righteousness looks down from heaven. Indeed, Yahuwah gives what is good, and our land yields its increase. Righteousness goes before him, and prepares a way for his footsteps. Tehillim 86. Incline your ear, O Yahuwah. Answer me, for I am poor and needy. Guard my being, for I am dedicated. You are my Elohim. Save your servant who is trusting in you. Show favor to me, O Yahuwah, for I cry to you all day long. Bring joy to the being of your servant. For to you, O Yahuwah, I lift up my being. For you, Yahuwah, are good and ready to forgive, and great in kindness to all those who call upon you. Give ear, O Yahuwah, to my prayer, and listen to the voice of my pleadings. In the day of my distress I call upon you, for you answer me. There is none like you among the mighty ones, O Yahuwah, and like your works there are none. Like all nations you have made, come and bow themselves before you, O Yahuwah, and give esteem to your name. For you are great and are doing wonders. You are Elohim, you alone. Teach me your way, O Yahuwah. Let me walk in your truth. Unite my heart to fear your name. I praise you, O Yahuwah, my Elohim, with all my heart. And I esteem your name forever. For your kindness is great toward me, and you have delivered my being from the depths of the grave. O Elohim, the proud have risen against me, and a band of dreaded men have sought my life, and have not set you before them. But you, O Yahuwah, are a compassionate El and showing favor, patient and great in kindness and truth. Turn to me and show favor to me. Give your strength to your servant and save the son of your female servant. Show me a sign for good, and let those hating me see it and be ashamed. For you, Yahuwah, have helped me and comforted me. Tehillim 87. His foundation is in the set-apart mountains. Yahuwah loves the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Yaakov. Esteemed matters are spoken of you, O city of Elohim, Selah. I mention Rahab and Babel to those who know me. See, O Philistia, and Zar and Cush, this and that one was born there. And of Zion it is said, each one was born in her, for the Most High himself does establish her. Yahuwah does right in the register of the peoples. This one was born there, Selah. And the singers and the players on instruments, all my fountains are in you. Tehillim 88. O Yahuwah, Elohim of my deliverance, by day I have cried out, and the night also before you. Let my prayer come before you. Incline your ear to my cry. For my being is filled with evils, and my life draws near to the grave. I have been reckoned among those who go down to the pit. I have become like a man who has no strength, released among the dead, like slain ones lying in the grave, whom you have remembered no more, and who have been cut off from your hand. You have put me in the lowest pit, in dark places in the depths. Your wrath has rested heavily upon me, and you have afflicted me with all your breakers, Selah. You have put away my friends far from me. You have made me an abomination to them. I am shut in and do not go out. My eye grows dim because of affliction. Yahuwah, I have called upon you all day long. I have stretched out my hands to you. Would you work wonders for the dead? Will the dead rise to praise you, Selah? Is your kindness declared in the grave, your trustworthiness in the place of destruction? Are your wonders known in the dark, and your righteousness in the land of no remembrance? But unto you I have cried, O Yahuwah, and in the morning my prayer comes before you. Yahuwah, why do you reject me? Why do you hide your face from me? I am afflicted and dying from childhood. I have borne frightening matters from you. I am in despair. Your fierce wrath has gone over me. Your onslaughts have cut me off. They surrounded me like water all day long. They close in upon me altogether. You have put loved one and companion far from me. Darkness is my close friend. Tehillim 89. I sing of the kindnesses of Yahuwah forever. With my mouth I make known your trustworthiness to all generations. For I said, kindness is built up forever. You establish your trustworthiness in the heavens. You said, I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn to my servant David. I establish your seed forever, and shall build up your throne to all generations, Selah. And the heavens praise your wonders, O Yahuwah, your trustworthiness too, in the assembly of the set-apart ones. For who in the heavens is comparable to Yahuwah? Who among the sons of the mighty is like Yahuwah? El is greatly feared in the company of the set-apart ones, and awesome above all those around him. O Yahuwah Elohim of hosts, who is mighty like you, O Yah, and your trustworthiness is all around you. You rule the swelling of the sea. When its waves arise, you still them. You have broken Rahab in pieces as one who is slain. You have scattered your enemies with the arm of your strength. The heavens are yours. The earth also is yours. The world and all that fills it. You have founded them north and south. You have created them. Tabor and Hermon rejoice in your name. You have a mighty arm. Your hand is strong, your right hand exalted. Righteousness and right ruling are the foundation of your throne. Kindness and truth go before your face. Blessed are the people who know the festal trumpet call. They walk, O Yahuwah, in the light of your face. In your name they rejoice all day long, and they are exalted in your righteousness. For you are the comeliness of their strength, and by your good pleasure our horn is exalted. For Yahuwah is our shield, and the set-apart one of Israel is our sovereign. Then you spoke in a vision to your kind one, and you said, I have given help to one who is mighty. I have exalted one chosen from the people. I have found my servant Dawid. With my set-apart oil I anointed him, with whom my hand is established. My arm also strengthens him. No enemy subjects him to tribute, and no one of wickedness afflicts him. And I shall beat down his adversaries before his face, and plague those who hate him. But my trustworthiness and my kindness are with him, and in my name his horn is exalted. And I shall set his hand on the sea, and his right hand on the rivers. He calls out to me, You are my Father, my El, and the rock of my deliverance. I also appoint him firstborn, highest of the sovereigns of the earth. I guard my kindness for him forever, and my covenant is steadfast with him, and I shall establish his seed forever, and his throne as the days of the heavens. If his sons forsake my Torah and do not walk in my right rulings, if they profane my laws and do not guard my commands, then I shall visit their transgression with the rod, and their crookedness with flogging. But my kindness I do not take away from him, nor be false to my trustworthiness. I shall not profane my covenant, neither would I change what has gone out from my lips. Once I have sworn by my set apartness. I do not lie to Dawid. His seed shall be forever, and his throne as the sun before me. Like the moon, it is established forever, and the witness in the heaven is steadfast, Selah. Yet you have rejected and spurned. You have been wrought with your anointed. You have disowned the covenant of your servant. You have defiled his diadem in the dust. You have broken down all his hedges. You have brought his strongholds to ruin. All who pass by the way plunder him. He is a reproach to his neighbors. You have exalted the right hand of his adversaries. You have made all his enemies rejoice. Moreover, you have turned back the edge of his sword, and have not made him stand in battle. You have brought an end to his splendor, and have hurled his throne to the ground. You have shortened the days of his youth. You have covered him with shame, Selah. How long, O Yahuwah, would you be hidden? Would your wrath burn like fire forever? Please remember how short my time is. Why should you have created all the sons of men for naught? What man would live and not see death? Who rescues his life from the power of the grave, Salah? Yahuwah, where are your former kindnesses, which you swore to David in your trustworthiness? Yahuwah, remember the reproach of your servants, that I have borne in my bosom, of all the many peoples with which your enemies have reproached, O Yahuwah, with which they have reproached the footsteps of your anointed. Blessed be Yahuwah forever. Amen and Amen.